Get ready for the morning rush.
Quick wrap of your news and weather. We'll start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Still looking at the possibility of a few isolated snow showers over the San Juans today, but everybody else, don't even worry about it. We have a good amount of sunshine, but very cold temperatures out there in the 30s this afternoon. Going to bed with a clear sky tonight means we're waking up to the single digits, teens and 20s tomorrow morning. Fernanda?
As you get ready to head out the door, we're following the day's top stories. We start with Sarah Yingling.
In just hours, Alexis Groves is expected to appear in district court for a detention hearing. A judge is likely to set a bond for the 21-year-old who is facing felony murder and other charges. Groves, along with 24-year-old Paul Garcia, is accused of stealing a van that was left warming up in a driveway, speeding away from police, and crashing into a car, killing 14-year-old Shaylee Bowling and injuring 2 others. That hearing is set for 9:30 this morning. David?
President Trump is holding to his first 100-day promise to construct the border wall between U.S. and Mexico. Now, Trump signed the 2 executive orders on Wednesday to jumpstart the construction of the wall. The other order was to cut federal grant money to immigrant sanctuary cities. Now, most notably, this is here in New Mexico, up in Santa Fe, and this would affect that area. Mayor Javier Gonzalez vowed to keep their status in spite of losing millions. Albuquerque rejected its sanctuary status back in 2010. Fernanda?
President Trump is expected to announce his pick for a new Supreme Court justice this week, a week from today. The seat was left vacant by the death of conservative Justice Antonin Scalia last February. The current frontrunner is Denver-based federal appeals court judge Neil Gorsuch, along with Pennsylvania-based Judge Thomas Hardiman. Democrats say they will still hold a confirmation hearing for President Obama's pick, Judge Merrick Garland.
Former President George H.W. Bush may be released from the hospital this weekend. His spokesperson says the 92-year-old still has a lingering cough from pneumonia, but his lungs are clearing up and he's working with physical therapists to build strength. The former president and his wife were both hospitalized earlier this month. The hospital released Barbara Bush Monday after she was treated for bronchitis.
A teen is facing charges after allegedly robbing an Albuquerque gun store. Last month, 4 men were seen on surveillance video breaking into Warrior's Edge Armory and Butch's gun shop. Police picked up 3 of them. Tuesday night, they arrested 17-year-old Anthony Montano at an apartment complex. All 4 are believed to be part of a gang linked to crimes across the city.
Another candidate is adding his name to the race for Albuquerque mayor. Local attorney Brian Colon unveiled a platform that focuses on job creation, public safety, and education in Albuquerque. He joined several other candidates, Democrat State Auditor Tim Keller and Republican City Councilor Dan Lewis, as well as retired police detective Michelle Garcia Holmes, an independent. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index added 3, looking at very cold temperatures this morning, some dangerously cold as we're out in the teens and 20s across the valley. Later this afternoon, the upper 30s, but nothing to worry about when it comes to rain or snow. We actually have a good amount of sunshine on tap for today and again tomorrow. Fernanda?
The teen accused of killing Manzano High School student Jaden Chavez Silva will spend the next 16 years in prison after being sentenced in a separate case. Esias Madrid pleaded guilty to the murder of 18-year-old Arturo Villa. Madrid shot and killed Villa in 2015 after a fight over a game of beer pong in the South Valley. Madrid has a hearing set for Chavez Silva's murder in July.
Researchers say fewer Black and Hispanic Americans are dying prematurely. The latest government figures credit the decline in deaths in these populations to advances in prevention and treatment of cancer, heart disease, and HIV. The study also finds premature death rates are up for white and American Indians because of increases in fatal drug overdoses, suicide, and liver disease. Premature death is defined as deaths among 25 to 64-year-olds.
Target is introducing broad new guidelines governing chemicals in the products it sells. By 2020, the new Target guidelines will push suppliers to list ingredients in everything from perfume to household goods. They also include the removal of certain chemicals used in everyday products and flame retardants from textiles.
Now let's get a check on that Thursday morning commute. No major incidents to slow you down. We're actually moving at posted speeds across the entire metro, clean and green this morning.
A new program aims at helping young adults find jobs here in Albuquerque. Mayor Richard Berry says the $4 million Tech Hire New Mexico program is open to young adults in central New Mexico with a high school diploma or equivalent. Those are for students who have faced barriers in employment or education. The program will help train them for high-paying IT jobs.
And actor Shia LaBeouf is waking up in police custody. This is after he allegedly got into an altercation, a fight with another man outside a New York City museum. He has been chanting, "He will not divide us," in front of a live camera since Donald Trump's inauguration. Police say LaBeouf pulled the scarf of a man outside the museum of the moving image in Queens, scratching his face in the process. Police say he also pushed that guy.
Time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, video of a big movie star making a cross-court shot in New Mexico is getting a lot of attention on social media this morning. Chris Hemsworth stopped at New Mexico Tech in Socorro to play some basketball. Hemsworth is here filming the movie Horse Soldiers.
Pretty cool. Number 4, you may notice an increased police presence along Central and Nob Hill this morning. Some people say speeding has become an issue through the ART construction zone. The speed limit's 25. It's lower in some places. And if you do break the law and speed, you're going to face double the fine, authorities say.
At number 3, a cold start in the teens and 20s, only looking at highs in the upper 30s. Today, isolated showers, if anything at all, over the San Juans. Good amount of sunshine returning to most of the state, including the Albuquerque area, with light winds out of the northwest, about 5 to 15.
At number 2, a potential fix for this year's state budget deficit is awaiting the governor's signature this morning. The legislature just approved a $216 million solvency package last night. The newly approved bills target $46 million in local school district reserves to shore up the state general fund and transfer $81 million from the dozens of state accounts and select programs. Governor Susana Martinez says it's close to what she envisioned in discussions with lawmakers, but it's not perfect.
Number 1, President Trump meets with congressional Republicans in Philadelphia today, one day after sweeping executive orders on immigration. And perhaps the most talked about, an order to begin construction of a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border immediately and add more Border Patrol agents in detention facilities. The U.S. would have to front the $10 billion needed for the wall, and while the president promises that Mexico will reimburse the U.S., Mexico's president spoke out right away saying his country, quote, will not pay for any wall.